We'll go ahead and call tonight's City Council meeting to order. And for tonight's invocation, we've got Pastor Dick Walmsley from the Taylorville Christian Church.
Our Heavenly Father, we come to you at the beginning of this meeting to thank you for your presence among us. You promised that. And also, God, to acknowledge your sovereignty in all things and to seek your wisdom. We also, Lord, want to give thanks for the freedoms we enjoy in this country as we celebrate Independence Day here. And we pray for our national leaders and our state leaders as they deal with some very difficult issues in the economy and so forth. So we trust you for that. We also pray, God, in this heated time of this year, we pray for our older citizens and our disabled citizens that they would be protected and cared for during this time. We give you all the thanks and praise in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Sean Bertle.
Here.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Here.
Rob Heberly.
Rob, get us here.
Here.
Bruce Jones.
Here.
Ray Coons.
Here.
John Lawrence.
Here.
Martin Voda. Earl Walters.
Here.
7 aldermen present, 1 absent. Okay, first we have a motion to utilize the omnibus vote for approval of the minutes of the previous meetings and hearings listed on tonight's agenda under the title of omnibus vote designation. I think Alderman Coons got you even before we started reading. Second by Alderman Dorchenez. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heberly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, those the minutes of those meetings and hearings are as follows. Minutes of the public hearing held June 18th, 2012. Minutes of the regular meeting held June 18th, 2012. Minutes of the Cemetery Board of Managers meeting held June 19th, 2012. Minutes of the Finance Committee meeting held June 21st, 2012. Minutes of the Ordinance Committee meeting held June 21st, 2012. Minutes of the Street and Sewer Committee meeting held June 28th, 2012. And minutes of the Public Facilities Committee meeting held June 28th, 2012. Entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Alderman Bertle.
Second.
Second by Alderman Hebling. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Rob Heberly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, next we have a resolution regarding the maintenance of streets and highways by a municipality under the Illinois Highway Code.
Your Honor, that came out of the Street and Sewer Committee, so I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, you have a second on
Second.
that? Second by Alderman Hebling. Discussions or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heberly.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Next, we have an ordinance annexing certain territory, this being the Louis J. Sloan and Rebecca L. Sloan property in the 1700 block of West Elm Street.
Your Honor, I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Kuntz. Discussion or comments? Alderman Heberling.
I know this is tied with a project for the future, and I would like to see this go back to the committee for some further discussion. We are proposing that we only annex 6.28 acres out of a tract that I'm guessing to be closer to, my goodness, 20 acres or so. I don't know why, if we're going to annex in a partial tract, that we don't take in the whole tract at this time.
Anyone else have comments?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters.
In discussing this with the firm of Monty Sechrist, it appears that in looking towards the future, they would possibly then do this development in stages across that piece of property. There's no guarantee that that would happen, but also I think that the present owner wants to reserve the rest of that for other uses in the meantime. So it gives the present owner, as well as the contractor and the money people behind this, which is Mr. Jeff Copley out there, the option of going ahead and developing a portion of it at this time. I think it would be good for the city of Taylorville He's going to bring some duplexes in, some construction work, put some people to work. There'll be a new street there. I think it's totally good. I don't see a problem with doing it as a partial annexation at this particular time.
Okay. I know there was another alderman, he's not here tonight, that also had some concerns about it. In fact, I believe at one of our meetings when we discussed it, there were some concerns raised. And I think at that time we thought we'd have Mr. Copley and Mrs. Edwards maybe come to the next committee meeting to answer those questions. Alderman Heberly.
Yeah, not to interrupt you, I want to keep these issues separate so that tonight we don't start debating the merits of a future project. The issue on the table tonight is the annexation, and I feel that if we was to move forward, if the necessity was there to annex a portion of this entire tract, that now would be the time to take a look at annexing the entire tract, which would still afford the opportunity to those that want to develop this corner tract the ability to go ahead and do that. At the, I think it was the most recent Water Committee meeting, it was stated there if we had any issues with annexation, that we would refer them back to committee. And I believe that this is a significant enough issue that we should refer this back to committee for further discussion.
Okay. Alderman Bertle.
I have one question. Maybe the attorney can help us out here. This, as far as I can remember, all this is ag property, and as far as annexations go, doesn't ag have a separate kind of context as far as bringing a tract in without owners agreeing to something over 60 acres, or I forget exactly what the ag.
I can actually we've updated information. It is residential. Is that correct?
R1.
Okay.
It's R1.
But this is contiguous, Alderman Bertle, to the city of Taylorville, so if it's by agreement, then there's no problem.
Okay, but I mean, it sounds like he's only agreeing to this one parcel, not the whole tract.
Right,
Right.
but I assume that this tract has, I mean, there's a plat of annexation here, so they've already separated out via survey and all that good stuff. So it will have a separate ID, tax ID number whenever it's all said and done with.
Any other comments?
Meaning, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor,
Sure,
but
Matt.
you understand what I'm talking about. It's going to have a separate real estate
Exactly. But
PIN number.
But if he doesn't agree to bring that other PIN number in, then it's kind of a moot point here, right? Because he doesn't have water, so we're not bringing him in due to the water
Right.
annexation agreement.
Right.
Am I going down the wrong path here?
No,
Okay.
no, but again, this is not our typical, forced annexation.
Right, he agreed to this.
This is an agreement,
Okay.
okay? It's the Sloans provided us with the necessary documentation to voluntarily annex this portion.
It sounds like we're going down the right path here to me.
Alderman Dorchenez.
Now, this issue didn't come forward in the committee meeting. I guess the thing that I struggle with is that we've come this far, and they're probably ready to pull the trigger on construction, and now we're going to put the stop to that. That kind of bothers me to do it at this point in time. I would rather that have happened at committee level rather than tonight. That's the problem I have with it.
Mr. Mayor, could I make just one comment?
Go ahead.
And it's really not legal in nature, and I don't have any say-so in this, but everybody needs to keep in mind that Mr. and Mrs. Sloan have cooperated with us to the 10th degree on the exchanges with the Messer property and all that kind of stuff. I don't have any say-so, but I certainly think that they are a friend of the city. Is that a fair statement, gentlemen?
Yes, I think so. And again, I don't want to speak for everyone else. I don't think this has anything to do with our relationships with the Sloans.
Oh, no.
At
No.
all.
Well, but they are the people seeking annexation.
Right, I understand. I think it's the proposed project where the questions lie, and so I think some of the hesitancy tonight is, we don't want to jump there yet until we get some.
And as you gentlemen know, I don't go to
answered.
committee meetings, so,
Okay.
nor do I want to. So I don't know the
Sure,
background.
right. But right now, we do have a motion on here to approve that ordinance that does annex, and we've got a
Mr. Mayor?
motion and a second.
I'd like to make a motion to table, please.
Okay, a motion to table. Can I get a second on that? Second on the motion to table. Going once, going twice. Okay. Motion dies for lack of a second. So I guess we'll go ahead and take a roll call on this one.
Ray Coontz,
Yes.
John Lawrence,
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
No.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1. Okay, next we have an ordinance amending Title 8, Chapter 3, Section 8-3-2C of the City Code addressing the salary of the cemetery sexton/airport manager. Entertain a motion to approve that ordinance. Alderman Lawrence,
Second.
second by Alderman Jones. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
John Lawrence,
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
No.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1. That brings us to city attorney updates.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. I don't have a whole lot. I was hoping the Housing Authority gentleman would stick around. I did speak with Joe Green this past week regarding the confrontation that we're having, not confrontation, maybe an issue with regard to the Housing Authority at their place of business on Spresser Street. I think everybody received a copy of the letter from Ted Graham. Mr. Graham asserts that the city of Taylorville has taken property from the Housing Authority that they legally owned without the proper procedures. I talked with Joe, and I don't know, Alderman Walters, whether you received a copy of the documents that I received, but in any
Yes,
event,
I did.
it's pretty clear that the 1994 project that was put on, basically, that it was a state project, provided for a 35-foot entrance. And what happened is, and it's very clear to me now, because I drive by there, as I've told you gentlemen 100 times, that I go by there 5-6 times a day, going to and from my place of residence. They built onto that building, and when they built onto the building, they filled in the right-of-way. This is Joe Green, and it's pretty clear when you look at it. They filled in the right-of-way to the west to allow them, basically just did away with the right-of-way so that they could gain access to, I think, 1 or 2 garage doors to the west. So I'm going to get that information. Make a long story short, I'm going to get that to Mr. Graham. Mr. Graham is getting a survey done, I believe, by someone regarding the whole issue, but it's pretty clear to me that what happened here. Does anybody have any questions on that? We'll have to continue our discussions with Mr. Graham on that.
I just got one question. If they're allowed to fill in that area, is it going to be a problem with the state or the city?
Yes.
Okay, I don't need an explanation now. I just need an answer. That's all I need. Okay, I'll refer to you for an explanation later.
Be glad to.
Thank you.
And I don't know anything about that, Alderman Jones, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
I just know how it was designed
Mhm.
initially. Today, Pam Peabody and I got on the three-way call with Kurt Froelich, who is our bond counsel on the bond for the IEPA loan for the water tower on Cherokee Street. Pam, just so you know, I contacted Vera Hurst at the IEPA, left a message. I also left a message for John Calise because the clerk and I need to know what type of time frame we're on here to get this ordinance passed. And Kurt Froelich assured us today that there was no great hurry, that we needed to basically just wait to hear from John Calise from Benton and Associates. So I have a call to him, and we'll get on that. The only other thing I had, Mr. Mayor and Council, I have not heard from anybody about the Gandy property with the $200,000 worth of liens on there, whether or not this council wants me to proceed to put together a closing statement that we would send to the Department of Family and Services saying, hey, look, this person is not going to, the owner of the property is not going to receive any money from this. What can you do as far as a discount of the liens? Or can you get rid of the liens? I don't know if we want to do that or not. I doubt very seriously that they're going to discount that very much because we're dealing with child support. I tried to contact Bill Newberry today because I didn't know whether they had and Alderman Bertle, have you had a cemetery meeting since then?
Well, we did, but we didn't discuss that piece of property, other than the fact that
Without,
you were
I just
handling
want
it.
to throw that out there. I don't want anybody to think I'm dropping the ball. If this council wants me to do anything, I assume that either Alderman Bertle, you'll let me know, or Bill Newberry. With that, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Okay.
We will get to the bottom of this vicious dog issue, though, that George has put me on notice of.
Good. Any other questions or for the city attorney? Thank you. Moving on to mayor updates, I've just got a couple quick things here. On Thursday, June 21st, you may have seen something in the paper about it. We had a group of high school students from Minnesota come through town. Originally, when they called earlier in the week, they thought they'd be here closer to 1:30, and it turned out it was close to 5:30 when they got in. But you know, as part of a program they have, it's called Students Today, Leaders Forever. And as part of their Pay It Forward project, they get on these buses and go throughout the country, just stopping and doing tasks, getting to know people, practicing their leadership skills as they direct the work being done. So it seemed like a very good thing, and they just asked if there was something they could do here. Again, had it been earlier in the day, I probably would have had them do some city work, but when I found out they weren't coming to 5:30, I contacted the Historical Society and said, hey, is there some yard work or something these young people can do for you? And they said, yeah, we can find something for them to do. And so they worked there for a couple hours. A couple local restaurants here I want to really thank is the Kentucky Fried Chicken people. I called them quickly and explained the situation and said, these kids are going to need something to eat. And they put out a meal for them. Let me tell you, Earl was out there with me, and I mean, you know, it had to cost them a couple $100 or more to feed those kids, but they did it. So we definitely want to extend our thanks to them. McDonald's provided drinks for the kids, so we want to thank McDonald's as well. And a special thank you to Mr. Chuck Courtright. He's kind of the groundsman or the keeper out there at the Historical Society. You know, he made the kids feel at home, and he's the one that kind of acted as foreman out there and found things for them to do. And all this was done on very short notice, so I thank them. Of course, this coming up this week, we've got the 4th of July, obviously on Wednesday. Tomorrow, I'll just put this out there. I know you guys are busy, but if you wake up tomorrow morning early and you're just looking for something to do, they're putting up the flags out there at the cemetery. So if you want to go help them put those flags up, they're fine. And if that doesn't fit in your schedule, they'll be taking them down on the 5th. So you get 2 opportunities.
What time was that?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Right. See, that's about all I've got here. I did happen to see, I don't know if anyone else saw it, the Illinois Times talking about the financial situation here in the state. Illinois falls apart. And, you know, I think we're all seeing, how the economic struggles here in the state are affecting us, as well as all across the country and all. So it's going to be a tough couple of years. There's no question about it. Supreme Court decision came through the other day on what's commonly referred to as Obamacare. And I don't know how your individual feelings are on that. Everyone seems to have a different thought on that. But things are happening awful quick here in this country, and I think it's very important that the average citizen kind of wakes up and watches what's going on here before it's too late. So I would urge people to pay a lot of attention to what's going on, and if something bothers you, to speak up now, so you're not looking back years later and say, I wish I would have stood up then and said something. That's all I've got, unless you guys have questions or comments. We'll move on to committee reports, discussions and our motions to approve, adopt, and or deny, and or table, and or amend, and or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. And we'll start out with the Cemetery Board of Managers.
Thank you, Mayor. Cemetery Board of Managers only had one motion come out of that committee, or that managers meeting. The motion was to accept the estimate from Brent Wendell for $3,400 for surveying Block 40, because the additional 18 lots in his plan would result in approximately $45,000 in additional income. So I'd like to make that in the form of a motion.
Okay, get a second on that. Second by Alderman Heberlein. Discussion or comments?
Just one.
Alderman Jones.
And I clarified this with Alderman Bertle about the additional $45,000 in additional income. When you design this, are there 4 graves per each lot, or do you remember? Maybe 6. Okay. Alderman Bertle wasn't for sure that's where the additional because it just says 18 lots, and if you think of a
Oh,
lot
so
as a
it's
grave site,
Yeah.
then it would be $2,500 per lot.
Yeah.
And that's not what we charge for a lot out there. So I'm glad we got some clarification, and thank you for going the extra mile on that.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Moving on to Finance Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. Coming out of the Finance Committee, we have motion to renew the property and equipment insurance, the general liability and auto coverage, and the pollution liability on storage tank environmental impairment insurance through Consolidated Ride Markwa Incorporated at a cost of $176,714, which does not include the two police vehicles just purchased.
Okay. Take that as a motion. Who's going to give me the second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Jones. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
We also have a motion to place on the note number 6, the 2012 ballot, as a referendum item, quote, shall the city of Taylorville have the authority to arrange for the supply of electricity for its residential and small commercial retail customers who have not opted out of such a program.
Okay. If that is a motion.
Second.
Second, Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comments?
I'd like to have the comment that this is a potential savings on the electric supply. As you know, the city buys its supply of electric from Direct Energy at a reasonably smaller amount than you'd get on the residential side. And the proposal, we did obtain the survey that we requested, and from those Illinois cities and counties that are participating, that savings runs, I wouldn't say it was 35% of what was expected, but it runs around 48 cents, 49 cents, as opposed to the 51 cents that the city pays, and approximately the same amount that residential customers of the town pay. So getting it on the ballot would be a way to basically help our citizens get a good discount.
Your Honor.
Alderman Walters.
Also, for clarification purposes, I will support this, but my electric supplier is Shelby Electric, and of course those groups do not participate in this, and neither does the RECC group on the west side of town. So it will only be Ameren customers that will be able to participate in this.
Correct. Any other comments?
Yes, may I? Can we amend that motion to direct the city attorney to prepare the ordinance to place this on the ballot, please?
Sure. Will you amend your motion?
I'll amend the motion.
And you amend your second? Okay. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Also, coming out of the Finance Committee meeting was the motion to forward, making a motion to forward the administration, police, fire, commission, municipal building, insurance, IMRF, Social Security fiscal year 2012-2013 budgets to the city treasurer for further refinement. This is sort of out of order. We've already got them done, but I will make that motion.
Okay. Got a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
We have a Finance Committee meeting with the budget appropriations. We need to put that, or do we have it?
It's already here.
arising from the 6:30 meeting we had tonight of the Finance Committee. We have a motion by Alderman Jones, seconded by Alderman Bertle, to recommend to the City Council to approve the fiscal year May 1st, 2012 through April 30th, 2030 budget in the amount of $22,180,618. That motion carried 3-0, and I make that motion for the City Council.
Okay, with that motion, you get a second?
Second.
From Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Rob Heatherling?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
John Lawrence?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
A related motion by Alderman Bertle and seconded by Alderman Jones to recommend to the City Council to approve the fiscal year May 1st, 2012 through April 30th, 2013 appropriations in the amount of $40,851,400. That motion carried 3-0, and I make that motion for the City Council.
Okay, you have a second on that motion.
Second.
Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
John Lawrence?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherling?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
And then, basically pulling them all together, there was a motion by Alderman Jones, seconded by Alderman Bertle, to recommend to the City Council to direct the City Clerk's office to prepare the appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year 2012-2013 in the amount of that same $40,851,400, and that the document be available for public inspection in the City Clerk's office beginning July 6, 2012, and that a public hearing be set for 6:45 p.m. on Monday, July 16, 2012. That motion also carried 3-0, and I also make that motion to the City Council.
Okay, got a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Coons. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
John Lawrence?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherling?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
That motion passes 7-0. And then if you just make we got the approve the minutes of tonight's meeting.
Okay. In tonight's meeting, the motion was made by Alderman Bertle and seconded by Alderman Jones to adjourn, which motion carried 3-0. And the minutes of that meeting are before you, that I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Okay. Second by Alderman Jones. Discussion or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Moving on to Ordinance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to use the omnibus motion, but since we only have one motion, I think we'll just do it. So we have a motion to direct the city attorney to amend the Taylorville City Code, Section 6-5-1, in definitions, damaged vehicle to include junked that is prepared for demolition derby, racing, or disabled, and it goes on. I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, you have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comments?
One comment, Chairman.
Alderman Walters.
I'd like to thank HBO Calvert, as well as the committee chairman, for pushing this along and putting this through. I think it's something that sorely is needed.
Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call.
John Lawrence?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherling?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
And Mr. Mayor, if I could, I'd like to make one comment out of the minutes, and that's under HBO updates. Health and Building Officer George Calvert commended the city clerk's office for the time spent on the tracking of foreclosures, collecting the money for mowing liens, and attending the sheriff's sales to inform the banks and or the property owners that since the city has liens placed on the properties being sold. And a total of $12,900 has been collected since March. So all the times that we've sent George and his summer help out to mow those yards, it's finally coming to fruition that these people are, hey, we got to pay this or we can't sell the properties. And that is hard work on not only George but Pam and her office, and they've done a wonderful job. I'd just like to commend them publicly here at the meeting as well as at our committee meeting.
Thank you. You're right. All right, Street and Sewer Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a number of motions. If you gentlemen would like, I'll read through those motions. Motion to approve the 27th Annual Chili Fest for the weekend of October 13th and 14th, 2012, and the 10th Annual Chili Fest 5K Run Walk on Saturday, October 13th, 2012. Make that in the form of a motion.
Okay, got a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Kuntz. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? That motion passes.
Make another motion to approve pay request number 9 from McIntyre and Company, amount of $17,099.05 for Kenmore Phase 2 Storm Sewer Project.
Okay,
Second.
second by Alderman Heberlin. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Motion to approve pay request number 6 from McIntyre and Company, amount of $201,120.23 for the Kenmore Phase 3 Storm Sewer Project.
Can I get a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Heberlin. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
That motion passes 7-0.
Motion to approve new curbs, gutters, and pavement on North Main and Vine Street around City Hall, the cost of $7,000 per ward. Make that motion.
Okay, a second on that.
Second.
Alderman Kuntz. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
We already have done this next one, Your Honor, on the council agenda for the resolution. If you so desire, we can make that one again.
Not that we've already done it once, it should be good enough, isn't it? So, good enough.
Your Honor,
We didn't have the amount, so if you want
What's
to.
that?
this gives the amount.
Okay,
All
well,
right. So
we'll
let's
go ahead and read
and
the
do
amount
that.
into it.
Motion to approve the resolution for maintenance of street and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code for $250,000.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Alderman Heberlin. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Motion to allow Superintendent Wiseman to purchase a 2012 Elgin Pelican NP three-wheel broom street sweeper with single-side broom and belt conveyor at a price of $162,800 from Key Equipment and Supply Company.
Okay, get a second on that.
Second.
Alderman Heberlin. Discussion or comments?
I've got a question.
Alderman Bertle.
I wasn't present at that meeting. I didn't see it in the minutes. Do we have plans for the old street sweeper? Are we trading that in, or?
Well, we're looking at a couple of options. We could trade that in, but we're thinking possibly we could keep that one as a spare and/or maybe offer it to a smaller municipality around us that would possibly buy it as is.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
What they were gonna do is just give us the price of what it would be if it was junk.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
they would weigh it and 20
Right.
cents a pound or whatever.
Right.
So we could always try to market it. If we can't, we can always sell for junk.
Yep.
Sure.
And did you hear him read that motion, Elgin Pelican? He
Right.
struggled with that at the meeting today. He did pretty well tonight, but he's probably been practicing.
I practiced on that. Yes, I did.
Any other serious comments? Roll call, please.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Last motion is to approve the minutes of the June 19, 2012 tree board meeting.
All right.
Now, I have a question on that.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Go ahead with your question.
My question was that we had a motion that that was defeated, but we're approving the minutes. The minutes include a motion to do a procedure.
Well, no, we'd have to pull out that motion and do it separate. Basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but the minutes, you're just saying, well, this is what transpired at that meeting, so
Okay.
that's all we're doing. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, thank you. So that's
All
my
right.
motion.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
And my final comment, Your Honor, was that things were going so smoothly, I thought I'd just read all these motions tonight to just kind of shake up the committee and the council.
Mr. Dorchenez appreciated that.
I thought so.
I could hear him gasping.
You made my stomach gurgling.
He was, yes, he was.
Moving on to public facilities.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have one motion. Motion to approve the payment of $11,070 to Evans Mason Incorporated for the City of Taylorville Municipal Building masonry repairs.
Okay.
Place that in the form of motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Ray Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Next, we have a motion to approve and ratify payment of bills in the amount of $541,997.55.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, with some comments.
Okay.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Second by Alderman Walters. Go ahead with your comments, Alderman Lawrence.
Our total is somewhat over $500,000, $541,997.55 to approve tonight. We have previously approved $218,219, that amount, with our McIntyre and Company progress payments on the sewer contracts. Our employees' medical, vision, dental, and group life insurance always comes due the first of the month. That totals $109,536. We've got a big city engineering bill, or several bills, on the sewer projects in process and spillway bid work, $55,267. We're buying a 2013 Ford Interceptor for the police department, $39,935. That's after 2 trade-ins. About 8,000 gallon aviation fuel for the airport at a whopping $36,086. We're paying the repairs to that street sweeper. We're going to fix up the pedals somehow, $3,595. And there's at least $12,000 in materials that is the ongoing street work that the street department is doing. So that's big ticket items amounts to about $475,000, leaving about $60,000 just the routine budget items.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call.
John Lawrence.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Ray Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, per Public Act 96-1473, this portion of the City Council meeting is reserved for any city resident wishing to address the council on issues that are relevant to the council. Would anyone like to address the council? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Alderman Jones, give a second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion,
Dorchenez hasn't done nothing but talk, you know?
discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion passes. Meeting adjourned 7:37 p.m.